welcome to Another Podcast. I am well, I'm more just the
and I am the
Already off to a good start with episode
great.
2.
Episode 2 of the Another Podcast, the Amy and Holly podcast. You're the Amy, I'm the Holly.
I am the Amy.
You are the Amy. What are we drinking today, Amy Jane?
I am drinking hot chocolate, but I'm more burning myself with hot chocolate because I initially just kept pouring whipped cream into my mouth.
That'll do
squirting whipped cream into my mouth. That doesn't sound any better. Consuming cream.
Yeah, I too am drinking hot chocolate, but I haven't started mine yet.
You've got a fancier hot chocolate.
It's the same.
Oh.
No, well, mine is different powder. I don't understand why you're giving me that look. Okay, we're drinking hot chocolate. How would you say the last podcast went, Amy?
I think it went good. God, I didn't expect more than 10 people to listen to it.
I know, we got like 500 people rocking it. On a channel that's usually about warrior cats, us showing up being like, hey, we have like strong opinions about the fact that Salem is hot.
Can we quickly just talk about how the most recent episode as well, like, she's even hotter.
She keeps going. But this episode is not about RWBY. This episode is about
Titans. Attack on Titan, if you will. Shingeki no Kyojin, if you will.
It's weird because, like, I feel like we have been watching Attack on Titan since it first aired in, like, 2013?
2013.
So, like, for us back on the day when we were on Tumblr,
yeah,
it was quite firmly known as SNK. But now we're like Titans. Attack on Titans. The link, it's been so long.
The fact that I remember watching the first episode the same day we watched Madoka.
Yeah.
So you were like, hey, watch this cute magical girl stuff. And then we watched till Mammy gets her head bitten off. Spoilers. And then instead we're like, okay, let's try and watch something a bit more calm. Let's try Titans. Oh, his mum just gets eaten straight off the bat.
Yeah, it was an intense afternoon for us.
Yeah. It was a day.
But okay, so we have 2 topics today. Do you want to... You're first, because I was first last time.
Okay,
What is your topic, Amy?
My topic is... Right, I'm going to specify this right now. Only looking at season 1 them, right? Okay. The 104th Cadets, and Erwin, Levi, Hanji, because I love the 3 of them.
Okay.
As what type of personality they would be if you saw them in a university setting or a college setting for America.
Would the adult squad, Levi, Hanji and Erwin Smith, not be teachers?
No,
or lecturers?
they're like post-grads.
Oh my god.
So maybe they do a bit of teaching, but at the same time they're just dead to their core with how tired they are and how, like, they just want to give up, but they've spent years working on this one thesis, which they're so close to proving is actually wrong.
They are exhausted PhD students.
Yeah, who have to go in and do teaching every now and again to the younger kids. And they're like, oh, you youthful bastards.
Okay. Alright, I have got... Let me just open it up. The page of the 104th Cadet Corps. Here.
I'm talking about as well main lot. I'm not talking about Daz. I'm not talking about Thomas Wagner.
When you mean we are not talking about well-known and beloved character Mina Carolina?
Okay, no, she's well known to me because I always think of the bit when she gets eaten. Her head, unfortunately, resembles a phallic.
Oh my
image.
god, it does!
See?
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
Memorable. However, when you're looking at my boy Armin...
Okay, well, I can't remember which one of these kids... You know there's the 2 that are dating, and then one of them gets bitten in... Franz and Hannah.
Oh wait, no, it's not. It's definitely Franz. Franz is definitely one of the ones that's dead. Then I think it's that Hannah with the pigtails. I swear I have not seen Sandra before in my life.
I have no idea who this woman is.
Or Gordon.
Who is Sandra and Gordon?
They don't even have last names.
Sandra and Gordon of the 104th Cadets. God. Were my favourite Attack on Titan characters.
Good lord. Is this also the... Oh, this is the top... I thought the top 10, they meant, like, literally the top 10, like, voted. And I was like, no.
A top 10 as in
the anime.
Top performing.
Yeah.
But I like how they have the top 10, but then they also have the other top 10, which are these guys, which are not in the top 10.
They're not quite top 10.
Yeah, they're not quite. We didn't mention these earlier, but Marlowe was also in the top 10, making it the top 13.
Well, he was the top 10 in the military police.
Yeah, but the top 10 got offered spots in the military police. Maybe they turned it down, and that's how they got into the military police.
You know, I honestly cannot remember.
Yeah, because they were like top 10. Get to go and get offered to join the military police because it's the...
No, because I think the thing is they went straight for the garrison. We're getting off topic. We're not talking about Marlowe. We're not talking about Hitch. They're not the main crew.
But they're in season 1.
No, they're not.
Yeah, Hitch is in season 1 because they hang out with Annie.
Okay, Hitch is in the second part of season 1.
Oh, so you mean we're talking about...
I'm talking when we first... see them.
When they are actual cadets.
When they are pure cadets.
Okay, alright.
Because that's them fresh into the university setting.
Alright, they are... Okay, so they're freshers.
Yeah, they are like fresh. This is like, you turn up on Freshers Week and this is the first you see
We
of
are
them.
talking about Attack on Titan Freshers Week.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So I guess we start off with Mr. Jaeger himself.
I hate him.
What do you think? Give me the lowdown here. Give me an example.
Okay, so in my opinion, you can't talk about Eren on his own because Eren's behaviour influences Mikasa's and Armin's behaviours.
Okay.
Right? So we assume, right, I would say they all came from the same school, same secondary school, right?
Yeah.
And then they're moving up into the uni.
Okay.
Armin, being the good boy that he is so goddamn excited to get to lectures and everything.
Yeah.
But he is having to haul Eren's ass out of bed every goddamn day. That they end up almost running late.
Okay, but what are they studying?
Ooh.
Are they all studying the same thing?
See, I feel like they would have to be studying the same thing. Military history.
So they're all
doing war studies. Don't ask me why Krista's there doing war studies, but you know.
Maybe, like, if you're in America, you do, like, you specialise, right? And you do a lot of credits in other stuff. So maybe they're majoring in war studies, but also doing...
See, I change it. They're doing history, but they'll start branching off into like military history or French Revolution.
Okay, I can get behind that because also I know that you know more about history than we will ever know about war studies. The only experience I have with war history is my first year housemate who described studying war studies as shooty bang bang and was definitely maybe gonna kill one of us.
Yeah.
Speaking of, which one would he be in the 104th Cadet Corps?
Oh, what would he? He would be... Oh, no, he would be current Eren.
Oh my god, current Eren was... Yeah, okay, he was a scary guy.
He was a scary... Like, the fact... Okay, spoiler for the most recent episode out. Him picking up Hanji by the collar, I wanted to throttle that boy.
Okay, we'll get to that. That's you're in my section now.
We
Amy.
are. Sorry.
So they're all history students.
They're all history students, okay. Right? And then imagine you go into the library, right? You've had your first basic lessons and you're like, I'm going to start studying early because that's what my boy Armin would do. He is passionate. He's a giant nerd.
Booked all of the books out of the library and you're mad about it.
Yeah. And then, because he's gone for but he's also looking at already the third year texts.
Okay.
And the third years who actually need those books are like, kid, you do not need that yet. Yeah. Please give it here. But, so they've hired out a little room and it's Mikasa, Armin, and Eren.
Yep.
Eren is spending the whole time trying to work out what playlist to listen to in the background, because it obviously matters, guys, because if I don't have the right music on, how am I supposed to concentrate? And then Mikasa's like, Eren, stop, come on, we need to just get onto it. Like, you've been sat here for 3 hours. We have half an hour until the room is up, Eren. Please, will you start your goddamn essay? And then she ends up getting distracted and getting a slightly lower grade because she's spending the entire time trying to make Eren do his work. Eren, unfortunately, just gets a good grade because he's good at bullshitting in his work. And then Armin is there trying his best to, like, focus on his own work, but he's also just kind of happy to be hanging out with his friends again after school.
I think Armin is the sort of person who, right, you know when you get homework to do and then you find out that other people on your course that they don't know what they're doing, and he's like, I'll help you, and so they end up booking up this room like as a recurring thing.
Oh, and he sets up like a study session.
And then Armin ends up having to lead a study session, and then he, like, a few of them are like, hey, can you check over my homework? And, like, it's always Sasha and Connie who are like, they're like, it's the night before, and they're like, oh my god, I haven't started my essay. I got really into playing World of Warcraft.
No, but also it's because Sasha and Connie are sat there looking at what they can get delivered into the library at lunch, because they're like, oh well, if we're gonna be here for a few hours, we can't, like, just go hungry. So obviously we gotta look, and we've got to choose the best option. I don't know what I'm into. They then spend those 3 hours trying to look at what's near.
And then they then someone spills something, and then they know they're gonna get in. Berthold accidentally spills something because something makes him nervous, and then Eren gets angry about it, and then Jean tells him off, and then Eren and Jean start getting into a fight about it.
The library, like, this is when then, like, Levi, who's in the library as a third year, who's actually in the library room next door, comes in and is like, will you shut up? I am trying to do some goddamn work. You people have made a whole mess in here.
Yeah, I believe that.
And then you've got, like, Erwin just with his head in his hands looking like he's so goddamn tired. Yeah, but he's now got to get involved and back up his shorter friend who's starting a fight with first years. Hanji's there egging him on like, hell yeah, get him.
No, Hanji is like, hey, are you kids learning about this? I know all about that. So she sits down and starts telling them all about it, but in too much detail.
It's then like PhD, not even like second or third year, it's then PhD level shit.
Very specific niche knowledge about Russian tanks, and they're like none of this is gonna be on the test.
And then I would say you've probably then got Krista and Ymir are off, like, they're not in a room because Ymir doesn't want to book a room because she wants to be free to leave whenever.
They have gate crashed the study group room, but they're sitting in the corner doing their own study group and taking up space. Yeah. And then, like,
not contributing.
Yeah, and then Reiner comes over and tries to say something to them, and then Ymir threatens to kill him.
Yeah. Ymir looks like the type where you think that she's gone in and she's like, I'm gonna be that uni kid that just decides to smoke weed and be a hardcore bitch the whole time. But really, that's just all an act, because she's just kind of terrified.
It's to cover up the gay panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To which then Krista's like, I'll help you, as like student rep kind of person.
Oh my god, Krista would... Okay,
she's on the council.
Krista would join and be an active member of the student union. Would anyone else be on the student union?
Sasha would, if it meant that she got to help choose the menu in the SU.
Okay, I feel like Sasha and Connie signed up to be a part of it without realising how much work would be involved.
And then Marco was like, maybe you guys don't.
Marco too would be in the student union.
Yeah, they were like, okay, Marco, you've got to pass these things through for us, please.
Yeah. Yeah, Marco actually does all of the work.
Yeah. Annie looks in through the window at this whole cacophony going on in front of her, and like it's kind of
a cacophony.
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 Cacophony is way cuter. Sorry, I'm sorry. Cacophony.
Cacophony?
Cacophony.
I have no idea. You could just be completely lying to me right now.
I'm just messing. No way. Annie doesn't need
macrame or macrame. Who knows?
Macrame. I don't know. Macrame.
But anyway, Annie's looking at the scene ahead of her, and she was considering opening the door to join them. But then she hears the fight breaking out, and then she's having Levi push past her, and she's just kind of stood there like, I can't be bothered to get involved in this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that that's what they're like. Okay, so what are they like in halls of residence?
Armin wants to make sure that Armin makes a cleaning rota as a threat, being like, guys, like, I don't want to have to put in place the cleaning rota, but if y'all don't do your jobs, I'll have to enforce the cleaning rota, because he knows that the threat enough of that will get everyone to do their stuff.
But I reckon. Okay, but who are the messy ones?
Connie and Sasha.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Armin would have books like all over the place.
Yeah.
But like not in the kitchen area or anything like that. Anywhere where there could potentially be spillages, he's terrified
Armin's
of ruining
room
property.
Is book central.
Yeah.
But
then I feel like Reiner's would like Reiner, he might just leave his trousers on the floor.
Yeah, I feel like Reiner is the sort of dude who gets home at the end of the day and just takes his trousers off.
Yeah.
And, like, is just hanging out.
He's just too tired.
Everyone's, like, put on it. Like, he'll come out and be, like, everyone else will be talking in the house. And he'll be like, what's going on, guys? And they're like, Reiner, put a shirt on. No one wants to see that, man.
Mikasa's room is so clean.
Mikasa doesn't. Can you? I don't imagine Mikasa owning possessions.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same about Eren. But I think Eren would still leave what clothes he does have on the floor, whereas Mikasa would end up going in and at least slightly tidying his room for him. I think she
would get him to tidy, but then help. She'd be like,
okay, if you do this, I'll do this bit.
And he'd be like, fine, I'll do it later. And then she'd be like, now.
You do it now.
And then he's like, and then Armin's like, hey guys, what's up? And then Eren makes him do it. That's not how Armin sounds. Hey guys, how's it going?
Armin now sounds like Mickey Mouse.
I can't remember what Armin sounds like.
He sounds like a beautiful baby boy, and also as Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion being Armin's. Them sharing a voice actor is so not correct.
Basically, Josh Grell is incredible.
Yeah, he's a very good actor. Berthold, I feel like his is quite. I reckon he's the sort of dude that has plants.
I also think he's a germaphobe.
Yeah.
So it kind of smells like the Dettol wipes.
Yeah.
All over his room.
Yeah, okay.
But there are plants also to kind of like cover up the smell a bit.
Yeah, I feel like he's the sort that gets really sad when one of his plants dies.
Yeah.
Like really sad. Like, kind of like holding a funeral as you put it in the bin. Kind of sad.
I think Sasha's room would have a lot of posters put up around the walls.
Yeah, I reckon Sasha and Connie have a lot of university schemes.
Yeah.
Like, at one point they start a band.
They're also the ones that, like, play pranks on the others in the middle of the night, knowing that they've got lectures the next morning.
No, but they always get caught.
Yeah.
By Mikasa, who's ready to kill them.
And also Krista. They're just both sort of stood there with their arms folded, like, really?
Krista's like, guys, I really don't think you should do that. And then Amiya shows up and it's like, go to bed!
Cut that shit out. Jean wants to make everyone believe that he's like a punk rock kind of guy.
And he's really cool and he gets ladies.
Yeah, but really, he's sat in his room, and I'm saying this on a personal experience. He's sat trying to convince girls to come back to his room and watch Howl's Moving Castle as a hit on them ploy.
Who has done that to you?
My first year hall experience.
I mean, okay, so now
I'm a protein shake man, and I'm gonna throw this bin across the kitchen, but do you want to come and watch Howl's Moving Castle?
Okay, I like the implication here that that Jean
is a
fuckboy. Is a fan of Howl's Moving Castle. What's his favourite part of Howl's Moving Castle?
Jean wants to be Howl. He respects him so much. He's like, with how suave he is.
So I feel like Jean tries to pull the pickup line.
Jean wants to be Christian Bale.
He tries to pick. He's been like, I've been waiting. I'm sorry, I'm late. Then looking everywhere for you. And then like, Annie looks at him and is like, dude, what the fuck? Like, and then he's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'll never do that again. So I feel like that's something he tries for the first 6 months of uni. And then
everyone finds out he's a giant golden retriever dork.
They're like, actually, he can't pull it off. He can't pull off he'll go out and he'll be like doing his hair, and they're like, "You trying to look cool, Jean? You trying to look cool?"
And Mikasa at one point will be like, "Oh, nice haircut," and then he is out for the count.
Yeah, and he never changes his haircut after that.
He's then drinking every day and like sort of like trying to keep it styled in the right way.
He's trying his best. He's a well-meaning boy, but he's gone into university thinking he can change his image a little bit, and it's just not working for him.
Yeah. And then Armin's like, I think you look great. And he's like, you're not who I want this from.
Yeah, I believe that. I do believe that.
Who's hitting on who at the pre-drinks?
Who in the halls are trying to hook up?
So we know Ymir and Krista.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're too busy being gay in the corner to notice that anything is really happening elsewhere.
Yeah, I feel like people try and hit on Krista, but it gets a few weeks in and they're kind of scared too, because Ymir exists.
It's just there in the background, glaring.
Who just
at
appears, just out of nowhere. They're like, or they're always together, kind of like a guard dog, and she's just like, she's got that powerful lesbian energy. You know,
will kick your ass.
I feel like she wears sunglasses all of the time, and like has like a leather jacket.
Oh hell yeah! Not like a proper oversized biker jacket, but not like one of the feminine close cut ones.
No, she's got like a good leather jacket, wears shades, and shows up and puts her arm around Krista a lot of the time, and everyone's like backs up by like 3 feet. Who are hitting on each other?
Bertholt's trying to mac on Annie, but then Annie is too busy pretending to not be interested, but kind of being interested in talking philosophy with Armin.
So I feel like Berthold is the kind of guy who is shy, and he's kind of the guy who goes to uni being like, and he's never really dated before, and girls are nice to him, and he's like, I love them. And he's well-meaning, but he's like a little bit lame.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't got he might by the 3rd year have the confidence to be like, I can successfully do a flirt.
But he's the one that gets way too drunk on the night out too early.
Freshers week.
Because he's so nervous.
Yeah, he gets so nervous, gets super drunk on night 2, goes home, throws up, and then they have to clean it up, and then he is so embarrassed he doesn't show his face for the rest of Freshers week.
Yep.
I believe. That's how that goes. Reiner is trying to hit on people, but also he's doing it to try and see if he's not gay, but he is.
Yeah, so he's just kind of flirting with all the girls, and then Ymir comes over and is like, buddy, you know you're going up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
And then Mikasa's just talking to Jean, not realising that he's trying to hit on her.
Lots of people hitting on Mikasa, but she doesn't pick up on any of it.
Yeah, it's not like she's like trying to avoid it. She has no idea.
I genuinely think maybe I can relate to Mikasa in the sense of sometimes people are trying to flirt with me and I think they're trying to start an argument with me. Like you know when someone's trying to flirt and they're like kind of, it's that like negging flirt where they talk down to you and they're like, oh, are you sure you can handle that? You're gonna be okay. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't handle it?
I will take you down.
I'll do it right now if you think I can't handle it, because I absolutely can. I feel like Mikasa has that kind of energy where they'll try and like...
But then that means, like, Sasha's also kind of stood next to her, egging her on, being like, no, don't worry, Mikasa, I know you can have 3 shots of tequila at once. And she's like, yes, I could. down.
Okay, alright. We should get to what everyone is like on a night out, but I'm trying to figure out if there's anyone else that we've missed for what they would be like. Okay, so I feel like Annie and Armin don't spend much time together, except Armin will be up late studying and Annie will come in from wherever she has been that day doing Annie things and sit in the kitchen, like the shared space with them, and start asking Armin questions. And Armin's like, at first Armin's like absolutely terrified because she's like, so what do you think about this? And then he'll be like, I think this, and then it would lead to this.
And then he starts having another drink ready, prepared for her, knowing that at any point now she's going to come in.
Yeah.
And he'll have just like a cup of coffee ready for her.
Just over time they'll be like, and then she like, it's like, I appreciate this coffee, but I can never show weakness, so I will never admit that. And no one else really knows this is going on. Like, they'll be talking, and they'll be like, "Where's Annie?" And Armin will be like, "Oh, she's out at lacrosse practice."
And everyone's like, "How do you know
they're
that?"
Like, Annie does lacrosse? Like,
I thought she was cheerleading. And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Can you imagine Annie on the cheerleading squad?
Hey, I would win any match if I had Annie cheering me on from the sidelines. Because I think she would look like she's gonna kill you if you didn't win.
Like, everyone else is like, "You can do it, go team," and she's like, "Go team." Like half high, she's doing all the motions, but she's like deadpan, and then she does a triple backflip.
Hell yeah.
And you're like, okay. And then one of the like players wolf whistles at her, and then she beats them up.
Talking about beating up, Eren on the night out on Freshers Week. Eren is in so many fights. He's kicked out of almost every club in the city.
So if we go, it's like the gang of. It's not the first night of Freshers Week, but
you've been out a couple of times.
They've been out a couple times. What does a standard first term of uni night out look like for the gang?
Okay, so Sasha and Connie are determined that before they even hit the club, they quickly need to pop in to get a McDonald's cheeseburger because they want to make sure that they've got enough to line their stomachs.
Actually, we're talking about this, but I wonder if Americans understand freshers culture. I wonder if it's different in college because we don't have frat houses, but we do have Freshers Week.
That's
so maybe
true.
We should explain like what Freshers Week is like to people who haven't experienced it.
Yeah, I actually only ever went out on 2 nights of Freshers out of all 3 years.
Oh, I had quite a good time.
I was always ill.
The first month, like the first term of being... So Freshers is when you're in your freshman, I guess?
It's like when the first week of your first year of uni.
Yeah, the first week of your first year of uni is called Freshers Week, and so when you're a fresh-faced newbie, you're a fresher and you join, and basically they have a lot of like
events that the university will have, and usually they'll have like some events in the day to get to know people on your course or just people who like other people in the university like sphere, but then they'll also have like deals with the local nightclubs so that you can have like special student events.
Yeah, so you go and you get like 2 for 1 on drinks on a certain night, or they'll have like a foam party.
Yeah.
And then they'll like during the day they'll have like events where people go and sign up and join different, what are they called? Societies. I can't believe I forgot what societies were in university. So you could join different societies, but yeah, it's like generally like
you get so many free pens.
Yes, you get a week of obtaining free pens and
young
people getting really drunk and sleeping with each other.
Yeah. They hand out so many free condoms as well.
I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say none of the 104th Cadet Corps pull on Freshers Week.
No.
I don't think any of them seduce anyone on a night out.
No. I think Annie could have if she wanted to.
Don't get me wrong. I think a couple of them could. I don't think any of them do.
No, because they already know they've kind of got the hots for one of their squad.
Yeah, and so I do. Okay, so if they're getting ready for a night out, they've gone and they've had like an introductory session with their course. Mm-hmm. They're all ready to go. They're like, guys, we're going out tonight. We're not
Have
going
they played
out.
Ring of Fire yet?
we'll have, I think, okay, so they are, okay, no, let's start from the very beginning.
Like, we'll start from pre-drinks.
Yeah, people are getting ready. The idea, Sasha and Connie have come home with a poster, and it's, like, free entry into this club downtown.
They stole all of the, like, stickers that get you certain entry.
Yeah.
They've stolen them off the rep, and they've, like, taken them all back, being like, hey, guys, we got this. And they're like, you're not meant to take the whole strip.
Yeah, you know what? And then they're like, oh... Like, they genuinely thought that was what you were meant to do, but they... But now they've just committed a crime.
Yeah.
But now they're home and they're like, fine, we'll go out. So what do we... So who's getting ready in whose room?
I think... I think Krista would kind of be trying to get the girls in one room to get ready together.
Yeah.
Maybe not, like, pushing them to put makeup on, but just to have, like, a girly natter while they're getting changed. Because, like, Krista's not, like, she's trying to still pretend about having, like, this,
that
like...
really, like, I'm a girly goddess, like,
And, like, but she doesn't want to, because she's not really like that, she's not going to force anyone to try on any makeup if they don't want to.
But she's kind of, like...
It'd be nice to just hang out as
she
girls together.
Wants to hang out. Okay, so she is going all out because that's what she thinks she's supposed to do, but her real ulterior motive is friendship because she wants friendship.
Yeah, she's doing this because she wants kind of the recognition of, oh no, that is a good dress to go out in, but also she's just sort of like, I know that if I do this now, later on we will all be good friends.
Yeah, she's like doing it because that's what she's been told that's what you do on Freshers Week, and she's trying to do what you do on Freshers Week.
Yeah.
Amir is like on her phone on Krista's bed,
and they're like,
you already look hot.
And she's just like, I'm already ready.
She's like, oh honey, I'm always ready. But okay, yeah, so do we think, is anyone else putting on anything?
Mikasa puts on something nice.
I feel like Mikasa dresses a little too formal.
Yeah, and then Eren will go out and be like, why are you wearing that? It's not like a ball. And then
she'll change.
Yeah,
No,
she'll go to get changed. And then Armin and Jean will be like, no, you look really nice. I think it really suits you. And then she, like, dresses it down a little bit by putting, like, a coat on.
No, then she puts a damn scarf on.
Oh.
And you're like, oh, and they're like, then, like, the girls are like, you look nicer without it, because she's like, no. They're like, wouldn't you be hot? She's like, no, it's fine.
It'll be fine.
But she's, like, done a simple look. But she, like, dressed up nice, but then...
She's wearing, like, really, like, in comparison, like, little heels.
Yeah.
But she's, like, really quite wobbly on them.
Sasha...
I can imagine Sasha going out in fucking huge heels just because Connie dared her to.
I feel like Sasha is the sort of person that would go out impractically dressed. She's the sort of person who really should be bringing a jacket.
Yeah.
But she is, like, kind of convinced that she grew up on the coast, or, like, in the hills somewhere, and is like, this isn't cold.
I know true cold.
But you're like, babe, you're gonna get hypothermia.
That's
if you
us
go out
speaking
like that.
from experience.
Yeah. But I reckon she's got a pretty good look going on.
Annie already has a spare jacket in her bag because she can't be bothered to hear anyone moaning that they're cold.
Yeah, she just can't be dealing with any of that. I feel
so instead of, like, being like, no, you really should take a coat, she's like, I've just got one in my bag ready.
Annie shows up dressed up, and everyone is, like, surprised.
Yeah.
But she acts, like, totally cool about it. And Annie gives me the vibes that she's the sort of person who'd been doing this since she was, like, younger anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
she had a fake ID.
Annie had a fake ID, and
her parents wanted her to get, like, to know how to handle her alcohol beforehand, so they got her the fake ID.
She's just, she knows what she's not worried about anything.
Reiner and Berthold have already had a few beers in their time with their fathers.
Yeah. So
they are like, yeah, we're used to just having a couple of beers with lads.
But I reckon Berthold can't hold his liquor at all.
Oh, no. He starts, like, accidentally, like, he gets asked a simple question and he ends up, like, completely blurting out some secret.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay, Berthold. So I reckon Reiner is a shirt and jeans kind of night out guy. Jean spends a lot of time fixing his hair,
and he can't decide whether to go, like, relaxed punk or like suave guy.
Yeah, he can't decide, and he spends a lot of time in his room alone doing this.
And trying on multiple outfits.
Yeah, but he doesn't want anyone to know that he's doing this.
He'll be like, guys, I'm just gonna study a bit before we go out. And they're like, no, drink with us. And then he's like, no, I've got to study for this. It's like, I'm gonna get the good grades, guys. And then really he's trying on all the outfits, and someone will knock on his door and he just chucks them under his bed.
Yeah. And then, like, Eren makes fun of him for it, and then he's gonna try and kill Eren.
Yeah. Eren sat in the kitchen, sat on the counter with like a bag of crisps, just watching all the stuff happening around him.
What is Eren wearing on his university night out?
Eren is wearing the most basic, awful outfit you could think of.
He's just got a tee. He's a jeans and t-shirt.
He's a jeans and t-shirt, but not even like good jeans. He's got the rips in them, just to like.
He's got
be
a
like,
distressed denim look.
He would double denim.
Why would Eren double denim?
Because he's that kind of person. No, I'm not talking good double denim. I'm talking like 70s double denim.
He genuinely thinks it's a good look for him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's that kind of asshole.
What do Marco and Connie wear on their night out, Al?
I think Marco goes with like some nice chinos. He looks just kind of like him and Armin are dressed quite similar.
Oh, I completely forgot about Armin.
My baby boy is looking fine as all hell.
What is Armin wearing?
He's got like a good shirt on.
See,
but
I
like
feel
it's got flowers.
I feel like he's a polo shirt kind of boy. He doesn't know.
He's got like little flowery crinkle shirts. And then like some like basic like some like grey slacks or something.
Okay, but hear me out.
If he goes out in a sweater vest, actually.
He's the sort that goes out in a sweater vest. I reckon Connie and Sasha dared each other to wear Hawaiian shirts.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, there we go. You heard it here first.
I feel like Connie and Sasha would be the type where it's like, maybe on like their second ever freshers, so like they're technically like, we used to go out on freshers nights even in second and third year because it was just a rowdy time to go out. So I imagine that on their second year freshers, Connie and Sasha would have convinced everyone to go out in like those like novelty suits.
Yeah.
But no one else would do it, and it would just be them two all dressed up in these novelty suits.
You know how back when Attack on Titan first aired and everyone was wearing the Titan bodysuits? They are wearing the Titan bodysuits.
Yes! And there is nothing better than when you have one of those creep up on you from behind, as we have experienced.
Oh, so many times.
I almost threw my cider over one of them.
Fear. Okay, so they get to the club. Who gets lost first?
Well, Krista looks at Ymir, and Ymir's being all stoic and brr, and so, like, Krista's instantly like, okay, Sasha, come with me. We'll put our stuff in the locker room and we'll go to the loo together. And then Sasha's like, I don't even have a coat. And she's like, just come with me.
Yeah.
And then Ymir's like, So then Ymir walks off to the smoking area. Yeah. And Jean follows, trying to be like, I'll go to the smoking area like a cool kid. And then Eren's like, if you go out there on your own horse face, you're gonna get beaten up. And so then, like, Eren follows as well, just to cause havoc.
By this point, Mikasa's like, Eren, where are you going?
Yeah.
So she follows him.
Armin's looking, and he's like,
Armin's got
I'm just
lost
gonna go
at this
and
point.
get...
They've gone
Armin
through the crowd,
and
drink. Armin is too short. So he's gone to get a drink.
He's gonna get drinks for everyone.
And then he's come back, and he doesn't know where anyone is, and he's too short to see where they are.
And then Reiner, like, finds him, because Reiner's just, like, stood
Reiner rescues him, and he's like, Reiner, thank you.
Connie, at this point, is, like, trying to play pranks on people by, grinding up behind couples.
Sasha and Connie came in and immediately did Jaeger bombs. And now they're just a force of nature. And they're just they're doing I have no idea what they're just doing stuff.
I'm intrigued. What club are you thinking about? And what is the layout of this? Because in my head, I've got club chemistry, in
Yeah,
category.
I'm also thinking of Club Cadets. So Club
I
Cadets.
cannot believe we both went for this awful club.
So Amy and I went to the same city to study university at, because of course we did. We went to different universities in the same city, but we did go on nights out a lot together. And so the most infamous club in the town where people would get stabbed and a lot of our university sports teams would go and fight each other there was a club called Club Chemistry.
And the floors were so sticky.
Yeah, it was 3 floors. So the bottom floor was...
The steps were so steep, I almost fell down them so many times.
They played like 90s music on the bottom floor.
Yeah, 90s pop on 90s the bottom
pop,
floor.
And then they did house.
R&B.
R&B and house.
No, house was at the top floor, because that's where I was. R&B.
Oh yeah, top floor. And then top floor was like, there was dance numbers, basically.
Yeah.
It was like pop. Like, everything that was in. A lot of
house remixes of pop songs.
A lot of Timber. I just remember a lot of Timber.
Yeah.
A lot of like, we found love in a hopeless place. Like, on repeat. All of these songs that I know, and I only know them from being
strobe lights.
Drunk on this top floor. And people would walk around with like trays of like test tubes with like sours, like the green apple sours in them.
And you shot it and you wished that you had had tequila instead.
Yeah,
because one, it tasted awful and it made you feel sick. And two, it didn't do anything.
It was just the sours. Really bad. But that's the kind of place that was. So no, Connie and Sasha.
Connie's real name is Connor. And if you didn't know him well by this point of freshers, you still called him that instead of Connie.
People thought his name was Connor. It's Connie. But no, Connie and Sasha are up and they're like manic at this point.
They're like, mainly on the stairs.
I don't know where they have gone. Annie, where's Annie?
Annie has found like some seating areas where it's kind of quiet, and she's just sat there, like reclining with a drink, and then people will keep coming up to talk to her, and she just looks at them and is like,
they leave,
go away,
and they're like, okay. Marco is being hit. Not Marco. Maybe Mark. No, Berthold got grabbed by a group of girls on a night out
who because he's really sweet and he's really tall,
and he is too polite and doesn't know how to leave. He's
probably also out in a sweater.
Yeah, he's out and he's like in this group of girls who are all like, "You're so tall! Oh my god, what do you study?" And he's like, "I don't know where my friends are, and I don't know how to speak to you, and I'm stuck here."
And he's just sweating.
Yeah. Marco has been tricked into buying some girls some drinks.
Yeah, and then they just walk off and leave him, and he's like, "Oh, I thought we were having a nice conversation." Not even like sad that they like left and he was trying to hit on them. He was just genuinely having a nice conversation.
They were nice, but they thought he was going to be a seedy guy. John has also bought some drinks, but he did think that they were hitting on him.
Yeah. and then went back out being cranky, and then Eren was like, "What, some girl turned you down?" And he was like, "Fuck off, asshole."
Yeah, at least I'm trying. And Eren's like,
got some attention.
Eren's like, "Why would I care about girls?"
God, I hate him so much. And Armin then is just like on the dance floor, kind of like quite drunk, just swaying.
It's a little bit too loud for Armin.
He gets overwhelmed quite quickly.
Yeah, it's a little like he keeps going out to the smoking area and finding other people where it's quieter because it's just a little bit too loud.
And they always get him to go and ask for cigarettes from other people if they want to like bum a cigarette. Yeah. So they're always like, Armin, everyone likes you. Go and get one. And then he's like And then like Annie comes out and she's like, "Oh my god, right, come on." And then like Annie's going round with him. And so like being like, "Hey, you got any spares?" And Armin's like, "She's a genius."
Oh, very good. What is Mikasa doing on her night out?
Mikasa is constantly running after Eren, and then Eren will say something just mean, and then she'll be like really upset, and so she just goes to the loo by herself for a bit, and like Krista's like, "Do you want me to come with you?" And she's like, "No."
Honestly, we just feel sad about Mikasa.
This
is a very depressing view of Mikasa because she's
she's always let down.
Yeah.
The only good moment she has is when she's with Armin or when she's with Krista.
Or Sasha.
Or Connie. Anyone that's not Eren.
When Mikasa is with other people. Okay, no, but so Eren says something mean to her And then she ends up by herself, and then Jean says something genuinely nice to her.
Oh, and he's like brought her over a glass of water, not even like gone and got her another drink, because she looks like she's just ready to go home, and he's like, hey, do you want to, we can get out of here if you want. I'll share a taxi back with you.
Like, that's when Jean really is good, because he's not trying to be cool.
Yeah, he's genuinely worried about a friend.
Being a nice guy. I do think he's the sort of one, Jean is the one who rounds everyone up to get a cab home.
Yeah, because he's like, come on guys, we're all poor.
Yeah, Jean is like trying to act cool, but actually he is the best at organising the drunk crew.
Yeah, but they're also just having to kind of like peel Armin off the floor because he's so...
Armin and Berthold are too drunk.
They're just sitting in the corner giggling.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking like, they're not even like sat on chairs.
Yeah.
The bouncers are telling them to get off the floor because they're just sat in the corner of the room on the floor.
Connie has thrown up, and Sasha's trying to find people and is like, we have to go, we're getting kicked out. Connie's thrown up on the floor and we need to go to McDonald's. And they're like, we're going to McDonald's again?
And they're
we
like,
just
it's
went
closing
to McDonald's.
in 20 minutes.
And Connie's like, it's fine, I'm fine. They're like, Connie, you just threw up on Reiner, and Reiner is mad about it.
And this whole time, while they've been on this night out, like, Erwin, Hanji, and Levi have actually just been having a house party with, like, Mike and Nanaba, and it's just been so chill.
They've been having a chill time.
They played like, a couple of drinking games.
No one threw up.
No one threw up. They're all just sort of, like, just enjoying each other's company without it being too loud.
They're too old for this.
Mike wants it to get a bit rowdier. Yeah. And, like, Hanji's, like, so up for that. And then Erwin and Levi are like, I'm too tired.
They're like, I woke up at 7 to do...
No, they woke up at 5.
Oh, yeah,
because they went for a run before even starting work.
They did go for a run. Ugh. Okay,
that's them.
There we go.
Right.
That's 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Good God.
I feel like we just came up with a really good fan fiction. If you want to write that fan fiction, Amy or anyone, go for it.
I just want to write about Armin being my baby boy, having a good time at uni.
You know, in summary, I think they'd have a good time.
I think they'd have a good time. I think Eren would manage to ruin it for them all, but I think for the majority of the day...
It's fine until Eren tries to start a fight.
Yeah.
But do you think, I reckon Eren's the sort of person who tries to start a fight and then he has one drink too many and then starts trying to be like, you know I love you guys, right? And they're like, Eren, shut up, you're drunk.
Either that, he starts a fight, then walks off. They can't find him for ages. Yeah. Mikasa is absolutely terrified, thinking like, oh my god, what if someone's like glassed him or something? Yeah. And then they find him and he's just sat in an alleyway crying, being like,
I'm sorry, I was mean to you. And they're like, get off, Eren.
We've got to go home. If you throw up in the taxi, I will kill you.
Yeah. It's a good night out.
Yeah.
This makes me just want to go out dancing.
I know. It's so bad.
So bad.
One day we'll be allowed back outside.
Someday.
And we'll be allowed to go for a dance.
I just want
without
to dance
fear of death.
And not fear for my life. That's all I want. Okay. So now it's my topic. I think you could probably tell from the first half of this episode, we're not the biggest Eren Yeager fans.
No.
We would not run an Eren Yeager stan account.
No.
And we would not buy an Eren hugging pillow.
Absolutely not. I would rather die.
In fact, I wouldn't buy any merch with Eren on it, I don't think.
Yeah. I just hate him.
Except for that one shot in one of the series where he's pretty, and I don't even remember what one that was.
Hey, wait, are you talking about him, like, Marley arc being...
No,
like...
I'm thinking about, you know, in, like, season 1, when he comes out of his Titan form, and
he
like, sits up, and his hair's, like, flowing in the wind.
He does, like, the, like, when women do the, like,
yeah, he does that, in the water. And you're like, that's the only time they draw this boy, like, pretty, and the rest of the time... He's just the worst. Mm-hmm. He's got a mean face.
He does have he's got a mean face and a worse attitude.
He just has a bad attitude.
I think the thing is, If he was being mean to people who deserved it, fine. But when you're talking smack to my boy Armin, and when you're being mean to Mikasa, absolutely not. I'm having none of it.
I do want to fist fight you in the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my topic is, in what moment has Eren been the most annoying? And we're gonna
the whole show.
In the whole show. I think to make this easier, I think we should figure out which we think is the most. Oh, hold on.
Otherwise, I'm blind.
That's fair.
Nope, I'm still blind.
Still blind. It's just gonna get worse because the sun's gonna set.
It'll be fine.
To make this easier, I think maybe if possible, we should decide what is his most annoying moment from each season, and then figure out which of those is the most annoying.
I think that's fair. I think that's a good methodology. I cannot say words today.
Methodological way of doing it.
I just give up. Every word is a tongue twister.
I think we're going to have to defer to your judgment because you know this show better than I know this show.
I have watched this show on repeat too many times, but I still kind of forget that we're on season 4 and that it's not like season 5 because I end up putting like an extra series there in my brain from the way we split things up.
I do feel like the first half of season 3 and the second half of season 3 are 2 different seasons. In the same way that I feel like the first and second half of season 2 are the same season.
It's like I think the first season can be split into, because you do have the first season split of like before the female Titan and then the female Titan.
Of the season are really like very different.
I think if we split the seasons up by main arcs.
Okay, we'll go with the arcs.
So it's like for the first part where it is just the fall of Shiganshina.
Yeah.
So before the female Titan is around.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have, because I've got one specific one that always stays in my mind.
I'm trying to think if there's a particularly annoying bit that I think, aside from just, because the trouble is, we've got to separate general Eren being annoying with bits where he is like particularly annoying.
Yeah, because the whole thing is as well like a lot of the bits where he's just generally being annoying is because 1, he's a kid, and 2, he had like, I have to give some form of credit of yes, he has just lost his mother, but I think what the overarching thing that annoys me about Eren is the fact that he doesn't consider that other people have lost as well.
That is true. Okay, so I don't think I have any particularly strong moments in this moment that I'm like...
The bit where Mikasa has to fucking feed him the bread. When he's being a whiny little asshole.
Yeah, okay. And that is annoying.
Me up the wall. When he's about to fight an MP, you're like, dude, you are like 7. You cannot take him on.
You're like so small,
like,
my boy.
Learn to pick your fights, my man.
Yeah, okay.
Or whenever he's mean to Hannes.
You know, they kick it off and he's kind of annoying. Like,
he's just crying and he's like, I'm not crying.
Yeah, he's just... Okay, yeah, that is a really annoying... He's annoying in that moment. I'm trying to think of, like, after they graduate, when... He's annoying when they're practicing and he's like... Y'all don't know what it's like to face Titans. We've lived it. We've seen the fall of our own home. You know, people who aren't ready to face that shouldn't be here. And then he fucking hits the deck.
But it's so... I am kind of annoyed, though, that it's only because Shardis messed with his equipment.
Yeah, but he's not incompetent.
No, but it annoys me that it's like, oh, he was actually good all along.
Oh yeah, it does annoy me that he doesn't have to work for it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he does work for it, and like he does, you have to hand it to the boy, he just keeps going.
Yeah.
He does just keep, he's an unstoppable force of annoying that doesn't give up. So I think he would have practiced until he got it anyway.
But at least he does, like, in the training bit, he does eventually, like, go to Reiner and is like, Reiner, please help me.
Like, I think he's not naturally gifted, which I appreciate, but
he's
I do
not
feel
Mikasa.
I feel like that bit is more of a cop-out in storytelling. I understand why, because they're like, oh, he's being sabotaged by someone who was in love with his mother.
Yeah.
But at the time when that came out, it felt a bit like a cop-out.
Yeah.
Like, because you didn't have the chapters 50 chapters later where they explain that, oh, actually this guy liked his mother, so he doesn't want him to get eaten.
Yeah.
You know?
I think also Battle of Trust, when he's just like, come on guys, let's run out there, and he just instantly gets smacked down and has his leg taken off. No, his leg, his arm.
His leg just goes.
No, his leg.
It is his leg, and then his arm goes when he pulls Armin out.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's the fact he just rolls along those rooftops.
Oh, see, I wouldn't call that bit annoying, though.
No, I think it's the annoying part is where he's like, he just runs straight into battle without even being cautious. Like, Jean views him as like a suicidal maniac because he's just running in pure rage. He's not thinking about his friends.
Yeah, he is annoying because he doesn't care. He's not doing this out of like the desire to protect his friends. It's coming from a place of, I want to kill all the Titans.
Yeah, it's all very selfish. His entire nature and his way of fighting is selfish. It means that people end up having to sack themselves. Not, I just didn't finish saying the word sacrifice. Like, his comrades have to put themselves in danger
because he's being reckless.
Yeah.
And it's like a consistent thing. Like, I feel like Mikasa doesn't behave like she does when she thinks he's dead a little bit, because she's like horribly depressed because her family is all dead again.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, Mikasa won't put herself at risk unless it's to protect other people. And
it's like Levi when he like twists his ankle in the female Titan bit, and you're like, okay, you will put yourself in harm's way when you think, I need to protect this person.
Yeah,
but otherwise you stick to the plan.
It's not coming from I have a personality disorder with severe anger management issues.
Yeah.
It's I'm here to get a job done.
Yeah.
And to do that, I have to protect the people that I care about.
Also, like, don't get me wrong, yes, you are literally sending just new recruits out into the field with giant monsters. I get it. But also, Eren is still being he thinks so highly of himself, and like, all of the rest of you can just stay out of my way if you're not gonna help. Yeah. He's really petty about it.
He's just being a bitch.
Yeah.
He's just being a little bitch about it.
He can't understand why everyone else is scared when he is just angry.
Yeah, he's mad, and then he is rude to people about it. Yeah, that's annoying.
He's too quick to instantly go defensive and be angry at people instead of thinking about how it will. Obviously, you shouldn't always walk on eggshells to make sure that you're not upsetting people, but Eren has no thought for other people at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Except for when he suddenly does be like, oh, Mikasa, or oh,
suddenly I remembered that I like my friends.
And you're like, oh, for God's sake, you dumbass.
He's so dumb. Okay, so no, I think I've decided who the most annoying part that I think is in season 1.
Mm-hmm. And including past the female Titan?
In all of season 1, I think the most annoying, Eren being the most annoying, is when they're in the tunnels and he doesn't want to believe that Annie is the female Titan.
Oh my God!
And at that point, we've all been watching this week by week. Annie looks like the female Titan. They just have the same nose. You're like, it's Annie. We've cut to Annie. They've got him into the tunnel. The jig's up here.
And you've had the brilliant moment between Annie and Armin.
And then and he's like, what are you doing, Annie? You gotta come down. Just come down here and then we can all be friends. And you're like, now you care about Annie?
Yeah.
Now you care. And then he can't turn because he's like, oh, I'm having... they're like, oh my God, he's having second thoughts about fighting Annie.
And you're like, the one thing that we're 100% sure on, this is what you are worried about?
Yeah, he's Eren will he just does dumb shit all the time that is reckless, but the second...
fights her in the forest.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, I know that this is Annie's fighting style, and then it's suddenly like, oh no, but what if it's not her, even though I 100% know it is, and she just murdered all of Levi's squad?
He picks weird times to care about his friends.
Yeah.
He will be, doing stupid stuff, putting everyone at risk.
Will literally be impaled.
Yeah. He will... Eren's... But in that moment, he chooses, I would rather be impaled than fight Annie, who just killed all of Levi's squad and a bunch of my friends.
I think, really, he's just afraid of Annie. He's like, I don't want to fight her. She'll kick my ass.
That makes me sad that she kind of doesn't.
I know.
Just because he could be on fire for some reason. They never address that. Why is he on fire at the end of season 1? Does he do that in the manga?
I cannot remember.
Because I'm wondering if maybe they just didn't know if they were going to get a season 2, so they were like, we got to make this cooler than it is.
Fire!
So he's on fire now.
I just remember the reveal of the Titan in the wall was like...
Yeah, that feels like... Season 1 feels so long, and all the other seasons feel really short.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But I do split them up. Season 1 to me is you have until episode 14.
Yeah.
And then from 14 onwards, it's female Titan arc.
That is true.
Also, my favourite part of season 1 is probably Eren being kicked in the face by Levi.
That's such a
And it's just because I hate him. I've seen a lot of people interpreting the moment as quite a kinky moment. I'm like, no, I just want to see that little bitch on the floor. I hate him so much.
Just get wrecked, Lisa.
It grows back. It's fine.
The thing is, though, there are parts where I want to like Eren.
He has his moments, and you're like, I think you're changing.
There was that one moment, and it's in, season 3 or something, when they're on the wall, and he says something, and you're like... That was a nice thing that you did, Eren. Don't remember
It's like he wants to believe that Reiner and Bertholdt aren't the armored titan and everything, even though Reiner is literally saying to his face, and also he's previously had the intel that this conversation is going to happen. And you're like, why are you now choosing this moment to be like, ha, nah, guys, you're totally just playing it off as a joke, and it just annoys me. I'm like, look, Eren, you should have had these conversations earlier instead of just being cranky and avoiding people.
Yeah, it's just annoying. Mm-hmm. So moving on to season 2.
Okay, season 2. Season 2, I just can't stop thinking about Erwin.
Luckily, he's not in season 2 as much.
No.
But, no, he doesn't get his first Titan kill until they... go and save Amir and stuff from the top of that tower.
Oh my god!
That's when he gets his first...
Yeah.
Well, no, his first ODM gear Titan kill.
Yeah. Because, see, I'm trying to think because I was like, season 2... Okay, one bit I do give Eren credit for is the first episode of season 2 when Eren is like, Jean... You didn't wipe your shoes before you came in here. We need to get cleaning. Yeah. And then Levi comes in and gets the dust from under the table. And Eren's just stood with his head in his hands like, oh god, we are in the trouble now. I love that bit.
That is a good moment with Eren.
I like that. I do also like that he kind of talks a bit more with Hannes. Han. You know, my buddy Hans.
Hans from
Frozen. The crossover we never knew we wanted.
Elsa would be a great Titan.
Oh, hell yeah.
Elsa would be the female Titan. Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going... That's a whole other topic. Luckily they're not... You know what I think I like most about season 2? Is that Eren's barely in it.
Mm-hmm. Is it season 2? Do we get Historia?
Season 2 is the part where, she tells a flashback reveals Krista's real name is Historia, and she's the illegitimate child of Rodrice, but we don't have the bit with the farm. This is just the bit of her telling Amia.
That's true.
This is the reveal of Amia, and then followed by the reveal of Berthold and Reiner, and then they steal Eren. And he's got no arms, and he's just on that tree,
yeah, and
he's got no limbs, and he's just angry about it.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, that bit's really funny. But I know very clearly what I think is the most annoying part in season 2 with Eren. And I think this is up for one of the moments where he's been the most annoying.
Ooh.
And that is the bit before he's being attacked by his father's ex-wife, what's her name?
Diana.
The woman, Diana, and she's coming at him.
Just
one
Dinah,
killed
actually.
Dinah
Fritz.
Dinah Fritz, who's he's seen eat his mum.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like it's game over.
Mm-hmm.
And Mikasa tries to confess to him. And she's like, I'm really glad that I got to spend this time together. And she's blushing and being all nice and friendly. And it looks like she's going to go and kiss him.
Oh,
and then he just stands up and acts like it didn't happen. He just gets up and is like, and you know it's like let's not have this conversation right now because I don't want to admit that we're going to die.
Yeah.
But he just blanks her, stands up, and then tries to punch a titan with his bare fists. And I know that it's it's lucky that she's
a pure titan.
A pure titan, and his dad ate the founding titan. Because otherwise, a girl tried to confess to him. He ignored it and tried to punch a titan with his bare fist. When that came out, I was so angry. You were there, and I was so the absolute disrespect on my girl Mikasa.
He did rewrap his scarf around her and everything like that, but I just
it's because it's kind of meant to be implied in that moment that he's like let's not have this conversation right now because this is not the moment. But it never comes up again, and he is never nice to Mikasa again.
Basically, all it takes is to be nice to Mikasa.
And then we'll forgive you, Eren.
And
every time he lets us down. I'm trying to think of if there has been, aside from the original time where he put a scarf on Mikasa.
Even then it was sort of
it was being mean about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Mikasa had Sweetie, she needs to raise his standards.
Yeah.
But also, she's... The amount of time she saves his goddamn life.
I think because I remember more bits where he's nicer to Armin.
Yeah.
But even then, it's mainly just sort of when Armin is a crispy nugget.
But he's nice to Armin when Armin doubts himself and he reassures Armin that he's valuable.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, Armin, we trust you. And, in season 1 where he's like, why are you asking me? And he's like, you always think of a way to get us out. And, Armin, But
I feel like he just kind of deflects everything onto Armin then. He's like, nah, you'll figure something out. And then Armin's there
Yeah, but he is nice, and it does reassure Armin.
Yeah.
But Mikasa, it's always cut your hair, Mikasa, why are you doing that, Mikasa?
He views her as an annoying sister, and I know that they had that brief period of growing up in the same house together, but I feel like he really does not respect her.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he doesn't...
Which is why I'm so excited for the animated bit that we know is coming up in the series.
I'm so excited when that happens. It's going to be so good.
I'm going to watch it on repeat at least 16 times.
It's going to be so good. But, he never, is nice to Mikasa about the fact that she's gifted. He always is he always talks like he's kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
Or is why don't you you're really skilled, why don't you use that for something useful? Killing titans. It's never thanks for your... He never is thanks for your support, Mikasa.
He's never I am so glad that I have you on a team with me. I value you as a person and your skills.
And if it is, if there
She's
is
always
a
getting
moment,
in the way of him.
Yeah, and if there is a moment where he's being nice, it's always being nice to Mikasa and Armin.
Yeah.
So, it's never, a pure moment where... And obviously, yes, it's a little bit weird that she's kind of, obsessed with him. And I think if it were the other way around, we would be a bit dude, back off, you're being weird. But, also, Mikasa is just so cool.
And such a good
like,
girl.
such a good girl. And you think she's going to be really stoic and uncaring, but she, like, the way that she, like, cries when her friends get hurt. And
the bit of when she's talking to Bert Holt and she's like, there are only so many people that I can care about. And
like,
you
so
are not one of them right now. And you're like...
So are you going to come with me? Or are you going to side with the bitch I'm going to kill? Oh, I love it so much. But no, but even in season 1, when Armin thinks that it's his fault that Eren is dead and he's crying on the roof, and Mikasa never is like, it's your fault. She's like, it's gonna be okay, Armin.
Yeah.
And she, like, comforts him, and then she's like,
I'm gonna go and kill myself, basically.
Guess I'll die. But, like, but then even then when she learns that it's okay, like, she should live on and carry the memories of Eren and she doesn't want to die, is good. But, like, I just... Like, she's nice to people. She genuinely does like Krista and Sasha and, you know, all those people.
Her and Armin crying when Sasha died. And then him fucking laughing.
Okay, well, that's going to be on the top list. But honestly, that moment where he just... Like,
Gets up.
I feel like I'm going to have to find it so we can watch it and see it again. And we'll... Okay, what would it be called?
Maybe just do Eren versus Dina Fritz. Yeah.
Okay, alright. Okay, what does he actually say? Okay, because I think maybe we watch this in English.
Yeah.
Because this Japanese sub is nicer.
No, the thing is, I think what he says here is nice. It's just the fact that he genuinely just gets up like, no, I'm not kissing you.
Like, is that a confession? Or is that or like, not a confession, but you know, like, I'm as dedicated to you as you are to me? Like, what?
But I think this is another case of, in certain moments, he then suddenly remembers that he cares about his friends.
It's the inconsistency
it's
that
like
annoys me.
Whiplash.
Honestly, I found it the way that he just gets up every single time. I am, like, offended for Mikasa. And I know he's like, we're not gonna die in this moment, so I'm not gonna... But then they never bring it up again. No. And he's never particularly kind to her again.
No. Well, because after this, then you've got the whole... Well, yeah.
Then he kind of, like, hits it off with Krista.
Yeah!
So, and then I think that what I find annoying about this is in the next season, him and Krista talk because Krista is, like, being more open about who she is and she's not pretending to be her anymore. And he is genuinely nice and is like, I prefer you better this way.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're being a person right now.
It's
so
like, it shows that he is capable
of holding a human conversation.
But he actively, constantly chooses not to.
Chooses not to do that with Mikasa. And I think that's what makes this moment annoying. It's because it's like, pick a struggle, my man.
Yeah.
Like, do you love your friends, or do you want to kill all the Titans? Because it's not like it's not like at any point we see the inner conflict between him having to pick between just going all out. I choose war, and I love my friends. It's sometimes I love my friends, and sometimes I want to kill all the Titans. And it's never him... You never see him compromising.
Well, I mean, current arc...
Now we're getting to it.
Marley arc, we're getting a lot more of him being just completely dead inside.
I'm so annoyed at him. Okay, but that's what I would say is the most annoying part of season 2.
I would agree. I would go with that.
The disrespect.
How dare you disrespect our Lord and Saviour Mikasa?
Mikasa could kill me and I would thank her.
Yeah. She's just so good. She's just a nice girl who's so powerful and talented, and she's so sweet, and she's just, like, so underappreciated.
Not by the fandom.
Not by the fandom.
But by the people who she wants to be appreciated by. Yeah. She's so funny. I love
Mikasa
her.
Armin, better ship.
Mikasa Armin is the better ship.
Mikasa Krista, top tier.
Mikasa Krista as a ship is a powerful ship.
Like, and that comes into play season 3, where
just that one clip
where she catches her.
It was catches Krista, and like I don't know why. And then there's that bit where she encourages Krista to punch Levi.
Yes,
and that's like you know, it doesn't take much in this show because this show isn't really like big on shipping. But they have more, like, at least they're nice to each other.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Eren is too busy being chained up and crying like a little bitch.
Or yelling.
Mainly crying like a little bitch and being like,
Eren has
just
two
eat
modes.
me.
Does he wake up that day and cry, or does he wake up that day and yell?
And cry.
Sometimes he cries and yells. Okay, season 3, most annoying moment.
Him, when he's captured underground with Rod Rice, and he's like, no, Krista, just eat me, it'll be better this way. And you're like, oh my god.
He's gone through all of this, and he's like, it's time for me to get eaten. And you're like, this is it?
Yeah.
This is the moment you give up, and he just keeps crying. There's like a whole 3 episodes.
And then he's like, no, everyone, stop saving me. And you're like, oh.
And then he like flips like a switch. One minute he's like, I want you guys to save me. And the next he's like, don't save me. It's not worth it. And then he's like...
And at this point I'm like, yeah, it's not. Get out of there, everyone.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then he...
Like, Levi at this point has like watched one of like his like troops get shot in the face right next to him by his uncle. Like, he's had to go through all of that sort of stuff. Ahmed has been felt up by some perv.
And he killed a guy.
Jean's like, oh, Ahmed when he kills the guy. Oh, my baby boy. I love him so much.
Eren's just mad and crying. And that is true.
But I feel like that's just him for season 3.
Okay, though.
Mad cry.
I'm glad he's crying, because we have that moment with Krista where she's like, who cares? I'm not a big fan of, like, humans anymore either. Fine. If they say I'm the worst kind of girl, then I'll be the worst girl that's ever lived. And you're like, get him, Krista! His story was so good.
I love that girl.
She is
incredible.
That is some true queen shit.
Like, you know, in the Female Titan arc, where you've got Reiner, Jean, and Armin, and they're like, a goddess, a queen, one day my wife. Like, then it's like, they didn't even know then how true, like, how right they were.
She is, oh my god, an absolute icon.
An angel, a goddess.
An angel, a goddess. Someday my wife. Yeah, beautiful.
From Reiner.
Yeah, you know, that isn't a very... I'm trying to think of what else happens that season that Eren could be annoying during. I think he's pretty okay for the rest of that season.
Yeah, because they kind of move...
They've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
He goes and he gets the... They get to the basement.
No, they don't get to the basement yet. They've got to have the whole thing with Beast Titan.
Yeah, but then they... So, no, but I'm trying to... That's still in season 3. That's the first half of season 3, he's annoying with Krista underground. Second half of season 3, they go and try and take back Shiganshina.
Yes.
And get to the basement. And honestly, the bit where they're walking through a Shiganshina after fighting the Beast Titan, he and Mikasa and him are really, really shook, because this is like... All of that bit where he's like, Reiner, do you know where we're standing right now? This was my home. Like, I'm like, you know, for the first time, Eren, I'm on board.
Yes, but... I wish he also took into account it's not just his home. It's Mikasa's and Armin's home and like so many other people. Yeah, he just doesn't... And I know that grief will hit people in different ways.
Yeah, but Eren... so I think Eren doesn't get empathy.
No.
And it is annoying to watch someone...
And I think that shows in the later series.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to empathize in like a human way. But I do, and that's when he's fighting and when they're walking through that town and having that like, oh my god, this is where we used to be and all of the people that we remember.
Yeah.
That is like the moments where I'm like, you know, I'm on board with your struggle right now, Eren. And
the bit after Armin has become not a crispy nugget.
Yeah.
When when they've got back from the basement, and Eren's had his flashback of his father's memories and stuff like that, and they're obviously him and Mikasa are in jail, basically, because they went against Levi's orders.
Yeah. I love his so much.
And from there on is when he starts being really different, and starts being really mean to Mikasa, and just being, like, stone cold.
But I also think that bit's sad, because he's obviously, like, he can never go back, because when they get to the ocean and everyone's excited, but he's already experienced it all, and so for him it's like scary, because he knows that it's all true. And then you get to the end of that season and he's like, hey, if we cross this ocean and we kill all our enemies on the other side, then we'll be free. You're like, I do feel bad for him
that he's the only one who can see this bigger picture,
because he's lived that shit. But like, so I
just think Eren goes about everything the wrong way. He's
really
got such a good friend, like a good support network,
and he still chooses dumb.
Yeah. And I think that's what is the most annoying thing out of everything. Yeah. Is it's like, you are just jaded at everything, and you don't be.
Like, it's not like...
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Go to anger management classes, like, you ass.
He's just... Like, I think it's the way they pick it. He seems to pick and choose when he loves his friends. That's really annoying.
And then you're like, I don't truly believe that you do love them in a way.
Stuff pushes, like, it's not like he starts out loving his friends and then over time he becomes more jaded and that pushes him to what he does in later seasons. It's like, from the get-go, he's already been like wishy-washy about when he does not love his friends. Yeah. So it just is, you don't know at what moment he's gonna be like...
Turn traitor.
Or even like decide that that's the moment he's gonna cry because his friend is dead. You know? You're like...
Like when he starts laughing.
Okay, so I think we need to explain. So I would class season 4, all of it.
Or yeah, Eren, every single appearance of Eren in season 4, except for, even though I feel so bad for Reiner in that moment, because I actually really like Reiner in season 4. I feel so sorry for him.
I think being able to view, like, the first part of season 4 thus far, like, the bits where you are hanging out with the Maliark kids, I struggle to care.
Yeah, because you're like, I've spent all these seasons with all of these kids that I love.
Like, we've spoken about this, and like, the first, like, I get it, war is bad on both sides, and there's no such thing as pure evil in most cases, because everyone has kids being radicalized on every side. But we've spent 60 episodes.
I signed up with this crew.
we've spent 60 episodes with these guys. So although I get it, but I've picked my crew.
I don't know what Armin would have to do to make me not prefer him over one of the new kids.
Over, what's her name?
Gabby.
I'm never gonna pick Gabby over Armin, because I've spent hours of my life with Armin.
I wouldn't even actually no, I can't use Owen as an example. I just love him.
No, but like, I've been worried.
Even Mike.
Like, I care about the core crew. The other ones I forget. There's just so many. There's so many dudes in this show. The cast of Attack on Titan is so big.
It's because they all keep getting eaten.
Yeah. And
shot now.
Oh, yeah, apparently. God. But no. So they basically... The bit where he's talking to Reiner and he's like, we're the same.
Yeah.
That's actually quite an interesting moment.
But Reiner looks terrified, and I kind of respect the psychological mind games that Eren is playing at that point, because he is like, I am literally about to just murder all of the people in this building and like on top of us right now, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, and it's awful. But I kind of respect Eren for that, because you're like, there you go, that is your true nature. If you are as angry about it as you seem, that is your true core.
Yeah, picked a side.
Yeah.
You know...
And it is pure violence.
But that's the thing I find weird about it, is that we're meant to expect that this is, like, horrible. When we've seen in season 1, he's running around in, like, wool rose with is it Will Rose? With fighting Annie, the inner circle.
Oh, the inner one, Cena.
We're running around Wall Cena with Annie, and we see him crush a church. Well, he punches Annie into a church. That. So suddenly they're like, Eren, you've killed civilians. And we're like, I saw him killing civilians in season 1. Like, you know.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it's happened before.
They were people on our turf.
Yeah.
They weren't people who are like, in Mali, who we don't know or care about. They're like people who are the good guys, in quotation marks. You know, they're hanging out on our side of the wall. And but no one's like, wow, Eren, you need to feel ashamed of what you have done.
Eren would have so many jail terms.
Yeah, I do feel like...
I think Eren just needs an Asbone to call it that.
Oh, he needs to be retired. But no, so it feels
only
weird.
A few more years. 5?
Yeah, no, he had 5 2 years ago, so he's got like 3 to go.
No, because Zeiki's on 3 at the minute. And
no, that was a flashback. So you know how in the latest episode.
Oh yeah, because Zeiki's really soon gonna go.
Yeah, Zeiki's like in his last 6 months.
Get wrecked, loser.
I hope Levi gets to do it.
I can't wait.
He's gonna. I'd be so mad if he doesn't. But okay, so he kills a bunch of civilians, forces the island of Paradis,
Maya.
Our gang,
that squad,
the main squad, have to destroy the port, at Mali, so that they can't retaliate immediately.
At this point as well, they've already killed a lot of Malian soldiers that have come to Paradis to check up on everything.
They at this point choose killing civilians is wrong, even though
they've already
he's already killed civilians accidentally. He didn't mean to step on them in Walsina or cross a church.
When they get to the sea, when they got to the ocean anyway, and they find the port that was used to port people from Mali. Remember, he gets the Malian ships.
Yeah, but those are soldiers.
Yeah.
So it's fine to kill soldiers.
Oh yeah.
It's the killing civilians that everyone's mad about. Which I get.
It is against the Geneva Convention.
It is a war crime. He does commit a war crime.
But he's already committed one, so why just tally him up?
But it just feels like a weird time to get on your high horse about war crimes.
Yeah. I just don't like the fact that he pulls poor Armin into it, destroying the whole port.
Yeah, he does.
He is heartbroken.
So that port, the bit where he drags his friends into it because he's now manipulating the fact that he knows they care for him.
That they will come and
get him out.
Yeah.
Because it's not just that he's an asset, it's because he knows that Mikasa will fight the whole world for him.
Even though her eyes, the first episode where she turns up, she looks so fucking
bit
pissed.
When the gang turned up in season 4, and they showed up and they were like one by one, and we were just cheering. We were like, which kid is it? It's Mikasa, baby. Oh yeah. Here comes Hanji in on a blimp. Oh, that was a really good time.
Hanji is so goddamn good. The fact that, like, I was crying at Mikasa and Armin crying over Sasha's body.
Okay, we can spoil that because it's already out. I don't want to spoil stuff that's in the manga for people who are watching the anime.
But but Eren just laughing as that happens. As he hears about it.
So basically, Gabby, one of the Malian kids who's being groomed to be the next Titan,
to be the next Armin,
the next Reiner, is upset because all of her friends get killed by the gang.
Well, not all of them. Falco's still going strong because Falco climbs up with her. I like Falco.
He's a fine lad.
He's like, him and Colt are the only two of the Malians that I actually kind of care for. Gabby I respect. But I don't like
Gabby.
her.
People hate Gabby because she killed Sasha.
I respect how hard Gabby works for what she wants.
Obviously I'm annoyed that she killed one of our beloved potato kids, because obviously Sasha's the symbol of of youth.
Yeah,
essentially.
It hurt in the fact that it was like, it felt so unnecessary. It could have been just a member of the Survey Corps sort of thing.
But it's personal.
Yeah.
But I also understand that if we've just watched a whole show about kids wanting revenge for things that have happened and been done for them because their loved ones have been killed.
Yeah.
And
it's just showing the circle of hate.
Yeah, so, like, I understand it. To be fair, though, Eren's hatred does stem from the fact that they kill his mother. But he spent the whole time yelling at his mother.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I just don't buy Eren caring. I buy him being mad.
Yeah. It seems like he's more upset in the not being able to spend time with his father, and you're like, well, you did kind of eat him, but, I mean, whatever.
I'm conflicted. I just don't buy his human emotions.
Yeah.
But no, it's annoying, because he ropes his friends in to this thing that they don't want to do, and they're all mad, and they're like, we had to come.
Yeah.
And then Sasha gets shot by
Because
Gabby, because he drags them into this thing, this fight. And then he laughs. Now he
laughs, and it is like a kind of crying laugh.
To be fair, he laughs because he has a flashback about her last words being meat and how she steals the meat.
Yeah.
And, like, it is funny. Like,
and also it is kind of like a breakdown of, like, I don't know what I would do if you died and someone just said to me, you died, and then I remembered that the last thing you'd said to me was foot.
Yeah, see, I too would
like,
laugh.
In grief,
yeah,
I can understand. It would be you would be like, huh?
Well, I know that I have had members of my family pass away. Not that ones that I weren't necessarily close with, but someone. I remember my dad turning to me once and being like, "So this person's passed away," and I was like, "Oh no!" And he was like, "Yeah, he's lying on the living room floor as we speak," and the way that he said it, like, obviously it was terrible, and I wasn't especially close with this person.
I think it's also just dark British humour.
But it was like such an outrageous thing to say.
Gallows humour.
Yeah. And it's like such an uncomfortable moment that you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But
so I could kind of understand because his laugh does turn more into kind of a sob.
And then he does that horrible face where you can tell, like, he's like really upset.
Yeah.
But no one else sees that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't express that to anyone.
Basically, if he went to therapy and also worked on his empathy skills,
or just, I think it's basic communication skills that he lacks.
Yeah.
But there's also the most recent moment in the latest episode that is also very annoying, and that's him being mean to Hanji.
Oh, him lifting her up, and you're like, just because you're tall now, don't you dare!
You put that woman down!
Also help me! It's very much like I feel like such an old woman.
Yeah.
Like, respect her, Elle, put her down.
The audacity of this now tall cut your goddamn hair, Eren!
And it's like, she is the commander now.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm not all for, like, I do believe that, like, there is an authoritative chain, and I do think that sometimes, like, yeah, like, it's just tribal instinct to follow authority, sort of thing. But also, Hanji has done so much for Eren.
And she's not done anything wrong.
No. At no point has she actively gone against him.
Helped, bailed him out of problems time and time again.
Helped him learn how to use his Titan abilities.
Was never judgmental of him as a Titan.
No.
Was only ever supportive. The only time she's ever said, like, gone against him is she said, respectfully, I don't think Armin was the right choice.
Yeah.
And and she was very nice about it. And then this boy is out of nowhere, now, just because he's taller and has eaten the Warhammer Titan.
And he's, like, a little bit more muscle. Don't get me wrong, his character design, they have been, like, he's a man now. And you're like, ooh, kind of. But also, he's too much of an ass.
Hair, and he's so mean to everyone.
Yeah. Even Hanji. It's just not right. I know. It's just not right. That's boy, like if you, like, bitch slapped Mikasa right in front of me.
Oh, the thing is, I could see he would, and I would. Oh, that's it. I think that's the thing. He's so uncontrollably mean.
Now he's got to the point where he's like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
And that's
you're like,
the last thing
oh,
I needed right now. Like,
that's the thing is now he's becoming dangerous.
Yeah.
He's becoming more like, whenever you think of just most typical angry men, he's going to that point of where he's doing like the alpha male, what are you going to do about it?
And then you're shorter, so you can't.
Yeah. And it just makes me look at it and I'm like,
scary.
Oh, god damn it. Like, you've got all of these good examples around you, and you, for some reason, on your high goddamn horse,
let us down
so much better than everyone else.
Yeah. Just because what? You've got misguided conviction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me about now, Eren. I'm like, oh, now you're becoming a dangerous man, which makes me hate him.
He doesn't even have this is a boy who's experienced trauma.
Yeah.
You're like, you're a grown adult. And yeah, horrible things have happened to you, but horrible things have happened to everyone in this show.
Yeah. Like, every single... Armin was crispy AF.
And they continue to see the nuance of the situation.
Yeah.
You don't even know what nuance is, you
like,
dumbass.
Connie's mum was turned into a titan.
And he still manages to, like, keep it together.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It just annoys me that he is so, like, everything for him is, this one thing happened years ago.
To me.
And
no one else knows my pain.
Yeah. And you're like, look, I understand it was horrible. But the thing, like, you're never gonna get her back, man. People go through grief all the time. You've just got to move on for it. And you can be a better person. Do you think your mum would be happy now watching this?
Every step of the turn. Like, Eren is the one. Like, he's, like, not the chosen one. But he essentially is. Like, he has to do all of these things. And he has a great support network that are going to help him be the Titan and close the wall. Or, like, fight the Armored Titan and win and do all these things. So, and every time he's like, I'm not ready to do this, but also he's like, I'm gonna kill all the Titans. And you're like,
pick one. Are you reckless or are you terrified?
Are you the man for the job and are you gonna get it done? Or are you like, I'm gonna cry about it? Like, what are you doing? It's
like, the thing is, if you're gonna cry about it, at least go to your friends in your support network and go, guys, I'm kind of worried this isn't gonna work out how we think.
He's never, like, he never expresses emotion, like, he never really shows weakness to his friends. He just has moments where he breaks down.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is,
it's like, this could have been avoidable. This, like, if you had communicated your feelings earlier,
he never
could have worked through this problem.
He never communicates, so you never have that moment where you're like, it's always like implied that he, like, that moment where he's like, I want you guys to live long lives.
Yeah.
And that's like a one-off moment.
And everyone's blushing.
Yeah, and you just have to be like, oh, he loves us really, even though his actions and words never ever just back that up.
Yeah, but which is kind of horrible for all of his friends who get treated like shit on the daily, and then he said he thinks he can just turn around and say one thing, and then they're like, oh, okay, all of those mean things that you said are forgiven. No, that's not how life works.
Yeah, I don't...
That's an abusive friendship.
Okay, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, I love the main trio, but they have a horribly, unhealthily codependent relationship.
Yeah. And I cannot wait for that to be broken in a good way.
You had a best moment in mind.
I had a best moment in mind, and it's just such a dumb thing that I cannot get out of my head whenever I think of Eren.
Okay.
Spoon.
Spoon.
He just...
Grab the spoon.
Spoon. It's such a dumb... And, like, I know it was a whole thing about, like, how they learnt that him transforming into a Titan, he had to have, like, a purpose, like, a reason sort of thing. Like, I knew it, like, it was one way of showing how the science of it worked. But it was just so goddamn funny that it's this massive Titan arm and just a tiny little teaspoon.
Yeah, that was a good. That was
and
a top
Hanji
tier.
being so excited about it. And like, Hanji's enthusiasm overall is what I want in life.
She's so good, and how dare he lift her up?
How dare he?
Like, absolutely. The audacity.
Disrespectful child.
Of this boy.
Because he's only, like, 17 at this point?
It's been 3 years later, and how old are they in the...
Right, hang on.
At the end of season 3.
Let me have a gander.
They gotta be, like, 18 by this point.
I think you said 18.
18.
19!
19-year-old child.
Oh, yeah, see, you're still a tiny child. Stop lifting up Hanji.
Put her down.
Put that back where you don't help me.
Don't help me. Don't help me. Yeah.
Yeah.
In summary,
all of season 4, he is a bitch. And you say the biggest bitch.
But at the end of season 2.
That's fair.
I think it's made worse by the fact that you barely have to see him in season 2. And then he shows up and he's annoying.
Yeah. And he disrespects Homegirl.
Yeah. Our main bad bitch, Mikasa Ackerman.
Can you imagine not wanting to kiss Mikasa? I don't understand how that must feel. I don't think it's really possible. At what point? I could be doing anything. And even if it's a really inconvenient moment, if Mikasa tried to kiss me, I'd be like, hell yeah.
And like, Mikasa, when she's shy, is so cute. She doesn't do that at any other time. You are getting a glimpse, a rare moment with Mikasa Ackerman of like vulnerability, and you just ignore
That sounds
her.
like the beginning of like a David Attenborough narration of like the mating ritual. Here you are seeing the rare moment
of vulnerability from a member of the Ackermans. Like, she just deserves so much better, and throw the whole man away.
Yeah. In summary, throw the whole man away.
Alright, that's a good point. That's a good place to end it then, I think. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to us now natter on about Titans.
For like 2 hours.
As you'll see, we have some very hot take opinions, once again.
Eren is bad is like the most...
Eren is bad,
common
Mikasa
take.
is pure of heart good.
Mikasa's so good. In summary, stan Mikasa. Thanks for listening to episode 2.
Stan Mikasa, kill Eren.
Yep. Thank you for listening to episode 2 of Another Podcast. I have been Holly the
I've been Amy the We will see you at some point when we record another episode.
I'm probably kind of aiming to do one a month, I think.
Yeah, I think currently that fits our work schedule. And then, so we'll see what wacky topics we're talking about next
Whatever
time.
we decide is interesting next time. Thank you, and we'll see you whenever. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye!
Bye!